Hi everyone, happy Friday. Here's some of what's heading your way tonight. Your news at 9. One person is in custody after a convenience store in southwest Missouri was put on lockdown. Also, a bill in Missouri aims to better protect domestic abuse survivors.
Plans are moving forward for a big housing project in Pittsburgh. I'm Zach Dodge with why it's going to be a little bit unique. Coming up.
Doug Hetty has weather. Jacob Leonard has sports. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Abbey. A chilly day today, but listen up, big changes coming early next week. Meteorologist Doug Hetty joining us now. Doug.
Yeah, Jordan, it seems like we always get some crazy weather in the spring months, and we are going to see some crazy weather over the next several days. Today, kind of weird. We should be topping out at about 70. We only topped out at 52 degrees for a high today. We still have the showers, which are rotating through. It's mainly just kind of a heavy drizzle right now, but these showers will continue to die off as we go through the overnight hours. But it is going to stay a little bit on the wet side as we work through the night, as we continue to see pockets of drizzle into the morning hours for us tomorrow, and then staying kind of cool as we head into the weekend. Warm up on Monday, but could we be talking about snow?
No, say it ain't so. Doug Hetty.
We'll go over it here in a bit.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Lamar, Missouri police called in a bomb squad from Springfield to investigate a threat made at a Casey's convenience store. Police say this morning a man went into the store and claimed his car had a bomb in it. When police arrived, they noticed wiring and a toggle switch inside the car. But after the bomb squad investigated, they determined there were no explosives and that the wires were connected to the car's fans and lights.
In hindsight here, we take the totality of the circumstances that we saw at the time and the instance of the things that we saw in the vehicle, and we erred on the side of safety for the community, and that's come to a good conclusion though out of it.
The suspect is in custody, though charges have not yet been filed. Fire crews in Miami responded to a blaze at the former U.S. Metal building on West Veterans Boulevard this morning. It took several hours for them to get things under control. As you can see, there's a lot of damage, though. Officials are still investigating the exact cause. Not too long ago, it was bitterly cold across the 4 states. Remember that? And heating bills shot through the roof. Well, now the town of Mulberry, Kansas was billed $53,000 for its natural gas. They're suing BP, and they allege BP acted outside of the law, citing the Kansas Consumer Protection Act. They're seeking damages of $40,459.48. We reached out to BP for comment. They sent us this statement that says, in part, quote, "We recognize the impact of the recent weather storm caused hardship for millions of people across the U.S. Throughout this period, BP has sought to honor existing contractual arrangements to respond to customer needs while complying with all laws and regulations governing the relevant markets." Missouri's House of Representatives just sent a bill to the Senate that would give survivors of domestic abuse the opportunity for lifetime protection against their abusers. KOAM's Bronte Sorosky tells us more about the importance this bill holds for those survivors.
For survivors of domestic abuse, speaking up about experiences can be hard enough. But in Missouri, most protection orders in the state only last about a year, with few lasting 2 years. Meaning, many seeking protection from their abusers must appear in court with them year after year. One Missouri lawmaker is looking to change this. Missouri State Representative Lane Roberts sponsored House Bill 744, which would modify the duration of certain protection orders.
There's a process in this bill that allows for a hearing. The hearing requires findings of fact by the judge. If through those findings of fact, the judge determines that the abuser is dangerous to the victim, he or she can impose a protection order that could be as long as the lifetime of the respondent.
Roberts is a former Joplin police chief and says during his time in that role, he saw too many women need to testify multiple times for protection.
One of the victims who testified is now in her 10th year. She has spent over $40,000 trying to protect herself. She's been in court nearly 70 times. Nobody should have to do that.
Susan Hickam, executive director of Lafayette House, says stalking often occurs in situations of domestic abuse. This bill would help law enforcement have greater involvement.
We do know about anyone who is leaving a domestic violence situation is stalking will occur for at minimum 2 years. So when you are looking at an order of protection that ends after 1 year, A lot of victims of domestic violence are having to follow that yearly. Depending on the severity of the case, a lifetime protection would afford more opportunity for law enforcement to intervene.
Hickam adds that if the bill passes, it would allow these survivors the chance to finally move forward with their lives. In Joplin, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Anyone who is a survivor of domestic abuse can call the Lafayette House hotline for help. You can find that number in this story on our website. See it right there, koamnewsnow.com. Criminal charges against a former Independence Community College football coach are dismissed. Jason Brown was charged with 4 felony counts of blackmail along with misdemeanor counts of identity theft after allegedly sending fraudulent emails. Montgomery County prosecutor alleged Brown fraudulently carried the name of a Los Angeles County, California attorney in those emails, but the criminal charges are dropped because that attorney would not testify in the case. Brown still had to pay $198 in legal costs and make a $1,000 donation to a charity or nonprofit organization. Developers are close to breaking ground on Pittsburgh's first gated community. KOAM's Zach Dodge has these details.
More than 40 acres of green in Pittsburgh will soon look much different.
We're on the home stretch.
The villas at Creekside will soon be under construction just west of the high school on East 4th Street. It's a housing development with residents 55 and older in mind and will be the first gated community in Pittsburgh.
We like rural towns, rural growing towns, and I can see where there were some visionaries in the city.
3P Development Group is working on the project with the first phase set to break ground in May. That first phase will have 29 villas, some different outdoor amenities, a dog park, and all the groundwork that they'll need to add the development.
So we're actually bringing in water, sewer, gas, electric. We're putting in roads, sidewalks.
But the city will pick up part of that infrastructure cost through tax dollars using a rural housing incentive district. Once everything is finalized and this green space is just a little bit less green, the city hopes it will help start to address their current housing shortage.
We have a huge demand for housing here of all ranges, from low income to high end. The demand is there for a senior community in Pittsburgh of this caliber, and we're excited to welcome it.
The developer hopes to have the first phase ready for residents within the first part of 2022.
Well, we generate a lot of regional interest, and that this project brings a lot of alumni back to the Pittsburgh area.
In Pittsburgh, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
City says they're still working with the developer to decide who will take care of the streets that are inside of the gated community, since they won't be accessible to the public at large. NEO A&M College in Miami received a $50,000 grant to combat opioid abuse. The money is coming from the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education. The funds will help train students, staff, faculty to identify, even treat to some degree, opioid abuse. Healthcare workers worry that some students may have turned to substance-seeking coping mechanisms during the transition to distance learning.
The results of the pandemic, the impacts of the pandemic, causing stress and strain and isolation and, all of those factors that make people more likely to struggle with substance seeking or misuse.
NEO A&M received a similar grant back in 2019. As the biggest vaccination project in American history accelerates, lawmakers are clashing with doctors about when to reopen the country. Fox News correspondent Jonathan Siri has more now from Atlanta.
Shut your mouth.
It was the most contentious hearing so far related to the COVID-19 pandemic. Doctors squaring off against lawmakers as they defended their recommendations on social distancing and shutdowns. Republican Congressman Jim Jordan repeatedly pressing Dr. Anthony Fauci to say when Americans, quote, will get their liberty and freedoms back.
You're making this a personal thing, and it isn't.
It's not a personal thing.
No, you are. That is exactly what you're doing.
Dr. Fauci, we just had the chair of the Financial Services Committee said she loves you and you're the greatest thing in the world.
The hearing taking place as Republicans push for the country to fully reopen. The vaccination program is still accelerating, more than 3.3 million shots now being given every day. But Pfizer says that number may have to get bigger in the coming months, suggesting a third shot could be needed and new doses once a year after that, like the flu shot.
There will be likely a need for a third dose somewhere between 6 and 12 months. And then from there will be an annual revaccination.
So far, vaccines are even more effective than expected. Less than 6,000 fully vaccinated people have contracted COVID-19, a tiny fraction of the 76 million who have gotten both shots. But the CDC is warning case numbers remain very high, and we're not out of the woods yet.
The emergence of variants that spread more easily has made the race to stop transmission even more challenging.
The CDC says the majority of those who became infected after vaccination had mild or no symptoms. In Atlanta, Jonathan Seri, Fox News.
KOM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes its time to honor one of our four-state heroes. Drew Dishman began serving the U.S. Marines in 2005. Native of Joplin, Dishman did 3 tours in Iraq, earning numerous awards, including the Wartime Service Medal, the Iraqi Campaign Medal, Global War on Terror Medal, and Good Conduct Medal. We are proud to thank Corporal Drew Dishman. He's tonight's four-state hero. Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast, and later, a pair of Missouri Southern baseball players turning friendly competition into big numbers at the plate. Gonna have that story in sports.
Well, it turned out to be a cool, wet Friday for us today. Temperatures are struggling to warm up, and we've had the on and off showers throughout the day. About a half an inch of rain, which not an extremely wet storm system, but kept us on the wet side throughout the entire daytime hours for us today. You can see those showers all day long. This is our time-lapse Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri, but the on and off light showers, at least we didn't have to worry about anything strong or any severe weather across the region, which a lot of times we do in the month of April. Look at our temps. This is during the afternoon. Most of us were hanging out right around 50, and then this is where we sat all afternoon. In fact, we've only dropped off a few degrees, most of us right now, upper 40s across the entire four-state area. Rainfall amounts now where you see the blotches of green, that is at least a half an inch. A little bit heavier in our northwestern counties. Everybody else about a quarter to a half an inch of rain. But the heaviest rain is out of here, but we still have these light showers and drizzle continuing to push through. You can see these pockets of light little showers and drizzle. And this is going to continue over the next several hours. Again, not heavy rain, just kind of a nasty night out there. We can zoom in. You can see a little heavier pocket through Ottawa County and up through Cherokee County, and then everybody else is just getting kind of a persistent drizzle. But this whole storm system wrapping up, but what we do have to watch is this backside right here as it rotates south. That could give us a few pop-up showers as we go into tomorrow afternoon. It's not going to be a very big deal. Here's midnight, still the light drizzle, light showers rotating through. Here's 4 o'clock in the morning. And then by 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, most of the showers are going to be out of here. We may even get a little bit of sunshine, and then mostly cloudy skies as we go into the afternoon. And I do think we'll get some spotty little pop-up showers. Not a big deal, just a few spotty showers, and then sunshine finally dominates by the time we head into the late afternoon and into the evening. 43 to start, 50 by noon, high temp of only 54. It's going to be kind of chilly as we go into the weekend. In fact, Sunday is going to be kind of chilly as well. By Sunday morning, another weak little wave could give us a few showers. This will roll through. Sunshine returns by Sunday afternoon. But again, temperatures kind of chilly as we head into Sunday. Monday finally warms up, upper 60s to near 70. But here comes a cold front. This slides in. This is Monday evening, showers, even a few thunderstorms, and then just rain Monday night. But as we head into Tuesday morning, the rain could switch over to snow. It could be a pretty heavy, wet snow. So we could have some accumulations from this. Also on top of that, the plants, the trees, you never want snow this late in the spring season. So we're going to have to watch that over the next few days. 54 tomorrow, 57 on Sunday, up to 67 by Monday.
For the short term, that's just disgusting.
Yeah, next 3, 4, 5 days. By late next week, we get back to pretty good weather.
We'll be in the clear. So. Doug, thanks as always. All right, coming up, an apparent murder-suicide.
A shooting at a Fedex facility in Indianapolis leaves at least 8 people dead. I'm Brian Yennis. I'll have that story coming up.
Multiple people are dead, several others injured after a mass shooting at a Fedex facility. Investigators are now working, trying to determine a motive for the shooting. Fox News correspondent Brian Emus has more.
Never once did you think it would happen in your own backyard.
It's the third mass shooting in Indianapolis this year. Thursday night, a gunman opened fire at a FedEx operations center, killing at least 8 people. The shooting taking place in just a couple of minutes.
Our IMPD officers went towards danger, as they typically do. And when they arrived on the scene, they found something that really no one should see.
He arrived at the facility and began randomly shooting at people in the parking lot before going into the building. 4 of the 8 victims were found outside, the other 4 inside.
There was no confrontation with anyone that was there. There was no disturbance. There was no argument. He just appeared to randomly start shooting.
5 people were injured, including 4 with gunshot wounds. Some took themselves to the hospital. FedEx employees were not allowed to have their cell phones inside the building. Family members of employees gathered at a local hotel and waited to hear what happened to their loved ones.
My son, he works there. I came here and they were able to give me that he was in the other building when it happened.
President Biden released a statement ordering flags to be flown at half-staff, saying in part, quote, "Too many Americans are dying every single day from gun violence. It stains our character and pierces the very soul of our nation." The FBI is assisting in the investigation, searching the home of the suspected shooter. In New York, Brian Emus, Fox News.
The shooter has been identified as 19-year-old Brandon Scott Hole of Indiana. Police say Hole shot and killed himself before police entered that FedEx building. Just ahead, controversy in Chicago.
Outrage in Chicago after body cam footage shows a white officer fatally shooting at a Hispanic teenager. I'm Kevin Cork with more on why the original report of the incident didn't match up with the body camera footage.
As protests continue in Minnesota over the death of Daunte Wright, unrest is growing in the Windy City after footage shows the moment a teenager is shot and killed by a police officer. Fox News correspondent Kevin Cork has more on how that video is disproving officers' original reports on the incident.
Calls for justice coming out of Chicago after officials there released new police body camera footage Thursday showing the shooting death of 13-year-old Adam Toledo.
Stop right now! Hey, show me your head! Stop it! Stop it!
The teenager was killed by Chicago police officer Eric Stillman last month. Authorities were responding to reports of gunfire when they came across Toledo and a 21-year-old male. Toledo started running, and Stillman pursued. Original reports claimed Toledo was armed, but the body camera footage shows the young boy's hands appear to be empty when he is fatally shot in the chest. A gun was recovered on the ground next to Toledo.
Adam, during his last second of life, did not have a gun in his hand. The officer screamed at him, "Show me your hands." Adam complied.
Officer Stillman's lawyer issuing a statement saying he, quote, was faced with a life-threatening and deadly force situation, but community members don't see it that way.
You can see that he shot to kill.
Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot urging people to remain calm as the investigation continues.
I urge each resident who cares and loves the city, let's wait until we hear all the facts.
Authorities say the body camera footage almost never became public, citing the Police Review Board's hesitancy to release it because it shows the death of a minor. I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
When we come back, going to hear how eating some sour candy could turn a sweet profit. Sour Patch Kids has done something it's never done before. Released a new flavor. And if you guess what that flavor is, you could snatch $50,000. Sour Patch Kids mystery flavor is now on store shelves. Once you try it out, you can submit your guesses at mystery.sourpatchkids.com. Mystery.sourpatchkids.com. It's $50,000, guys. I had to repeat that website twice. From now until July, the brand will be dropping clues on its Sour Patch Kids packaging, social media channels, in-store displays, its website as well. You have until August 15th to submit your guesses. The thing that stood out to me, again, 50,000 G for trying candy. 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming your way.
The owners of Jim Steakhouse in Pittsburgh, Kansas say they have been hearing some rumors about their restaurant, and they want to set the record straight. You'll hear from them coming up.
One day after President Biden levies sanctions against Russia, the Kremlin says they'll return with sanctions of their own. I'm Ray Bogan in Washington with the latest from Moscow, coming up.
Call Windows for less.
Jim's Steakhouse has been a Pittsburgh staple ever since 1938. It's currently closed, but the restaurant's owners are optimistic it won't stay that way for long. KOAM's Mike Mahoney spoke to the owners.
The Castagno family spent this rainy Friday cleaning up Jim's Steakhouse in Pittsburgh, which is once again in their possession. They sold the steakhouse 7 years ago, but got it back after the last owner couldn't keep up with payments.
He ran it for 7 years, and I think after about 6, he just got tired of it and walked out.
Leroy Castagno says his family has heard plenty of rumors about the future of Jim's Steakhouse since they got the restaurant back, and he wants to set the record straight. He says that health problems prevent him from getting back into the steakhouse business, but that doesn't mean that Jim's is done in Pittsburgh.
We like to try to keep it as a steakhouse and not something else. So, there's several people out there really interested. I'm surprised. We like to see it reopen as Jim's Steakhouse, and we're working on it right now.
Jim's Steakhouse has been a popular Pittsburgh restaurant for the last 82 years. And while the Castagnos are looking for a new owner, that doesn't mean they plan on being strangers.
I told the guy today, I said, I look forward to coming back here and eating here if you who buys it, because Pittsburgh needs it.
In Pittsburgh, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
Castagno also says he's pleasantly surprised the coronavirus hasn't scared away potential restaurant buyers. Well, the Better Business Bureau is warning of a scam claiming to be with the Social Security Office. A target of the scam out of Leawood, Missouri, says the scammer claims to have found a car in Texas with drugs, money, and credit card off the targets. The scammer wanted the target to pay money to get rid of the problem. However, in this case, thankfully, the target wasn't fooled, just hung up.
Scammers are mixing up departments, they're trying something new, and somebody who maybe isn't as well informed at the different bodies of government and what they do could have fallen for this. Thankfully, this veteran was highly intelligent and did not fall for this.
If you do get a call you think is a scam, the best thing to do is hang up immediately. New research in the journal BMJ suggests using medical cannabis for severe childhood epilepsy may trigger early puberty. Doctors issued the warning after finding abnormally high levels of testosterone and other reproductive hormones in a 2-year-old boy who had been taking cannabis oil to reduce his seizures. A new study is shedding light on the health risks associated with shift work. Researchers in Europe examined about 300 blue-collar workers and found those with the largest swings in their sleep pattern between the work week and weekends had a greater risk of heart disease. After warning of retaliation, Russia officials announced how the Kremlin will respond to U.S. sanctions. Fox News correspondent Ray Bogan is in D.C. with more on that and what the White House says about plans to rebuild the relationship moving forward.
At a news conference in Moscow, Russia's foreign minister announced the Kremlin is taking a tit-for-tat response to U.S. sanctions, saying Russia will impose sanctions of its own.
We will respond reciprocally to this measure. We will propose 10 diplomats of the United States to the Russian Federation to leave our country.
Moscow's move comes one day after President Biden levied dozens of sanctions against Russia and Russian officials, saying it was a proportionate response to Russia's meddling in the last presidential election and its hacking of federal agencies, actions Moscow has denied.
The United States is not looking to kick off a cycle of escalation. If Russia continues to interfere with our democracy, I'm prepared to take further actions to respond.
Friday, the White House worked to remain optimistic about relations with Russia, defending the president's proposal that he and his Russian counterpart meet face-to-face for a summit somewhere in Europe this summer.
What the president is offering is a bridge back.
But with tensions intensifying, the Biden administration conceded a meeting has not been agreed to, but is an attempt to de-escalate tensions.
Our objective is to have a predictable and stable relationship.
Meantime, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy said the president's actions don't go far enough, warning Russia is also boosting up tens of thousands of troops along the Ukrainian border.
Even though Congress, on a bipartisan basis, passed the bill to put sanctions, he chose different sanctions and a weakness.
Russia says it's still considering President Biden's proposed summit. In Washington, Ray Bogan, Fox News.
A bit later, the red carpet for Japan.
Japan's prime minister is the first foreign leader to walk through the doors of the Biden White House. I'm Caroline Shively in Washington. I'll have details coming up.
At Slumberland Furniture.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a dreary, kind of nasty day for us today. Temperatures cold as we only made it up into lower 50s, and then we had the on and off showers throughout the day, which you can definitely see on our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. This is our time lapse for you just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Temperatures are going to stay kind of cool over the weekend, but at least we're going to get some sunshine returning, which is always kind of nice. Look at our temps throughout the afternoon. Most of us 50 to about 51, 52 degrees. We have slowly dropped off just a bit. Most of us now are sitting into the upper 40s. We'll only drop off a few more degrees as we go through the overnight hours. All right, rainfall amounts where you see the greens. This is showing us about a ½ an inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain. Everybody else about a 1/4 to a ½ an inch of rain. Pretty good amounts with this storm system, at least no severe weather. All the heaviest rain is out of here, but we still have these spotty light showers and kind of a heavy drizzle across the region. That's what we're going to see as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. In fact, if we zoom into the metro, you can still see pockets of showers, but where you don't see the rain picking up on the radar, it's just too light, but it is drizzle, and we'll continue to see drizzle over the next several hours. This whole storm system starting to roll out of here, but we still got the backside. You can see it kind of rotating right across central parts of Nebraska. This will kind of sink on top of us, and what that will do for us as we head into Saturday, it will give us a few spotty showers during the afternoon. Let's go through the rest of the night. Drizzle across the region, continuing all the way into the early morning hours, and then I think most of this will cut off early tomorrow morning. Could even get a little bit of sunshine early, and then we'll have mostly cloudy skies as we go into the afternoon. And again, we're going to get some random hit and miss showers as we go through the day. By the time we head into the evening hours, I think the clouds will break up a bit, and we'll have a pretty nice evening. It's just going to be kind of chilly. 43 to start, 50 by noon, high temp of 54. North winds at about 5 to 15. Tomorrow night, another weak little wave slides in. This could give us a random shower or two by Sunday morning, and then sunshine returns by Sunday afternoon. A little bit warmer, but still only into the upper 50s for afternoon highs. So it's going to stay kind of chilly once again on Sunday. Let's go into Monday. We start to warm up. We should go upper 60s to near 70. Here comes a cold front. So this is going to be Monday night. It slides in. We'll start to get rain developing along the front. And as the colder air filters in, we could switch over to a heavy wet snow by Tuesday morning, which is kind of crazy. So we're going to watch this, and then we'd probably go back over to rain by Tuesday afternoon. But we never want to see snow this late in the spring season just because of all the trees, all the plants have already budded and obviously could do some damage. Plus, we're going to have a couple nights. Temperatures are going to hang out near freezing. 54 tomorrow, 57 on Sunday, up to 67 by Monday.
Yeah, that's what's so sad is the temperature on Monday is so good, and then all right, Doug. Thanks so much. Coming up in sports, the MIAA Volleyball Conference Tournament beginning in Topeka, plus the Gaiman brothers from Nevada getting a chance to reunite on the basketball court. Jacob Leonard has that story and more next.
On Fox.
The Missouri Southern Lions are 22-6 with just 12 games to go in the regular season. The Lions are second in the MIAA in RBIs, led by a couple guys at the top of the lineup who have turned friendly competition into big numbers at the plate.
It's a friendly competition between Jordan Fitzpatrick and Tommy Stevenson.
We hang out a lot and we like to give each other, crap all the time and mess with each other. But we, if he does something, I try and do something too, and just kind of one up each other. It's pretty fun.
It's great to win, and it's fun to have those little competitions we have.
Stevenson and Fitzpatrick are number 2 and number 3 in the MIAA in runs driven in.
Those guys are really good hitters, and they've heated up kind of both at the same time, and it's fun to watch them.
Fitzpatrick has driven in 34 runs and leads the league in doubles.
Stevenson has driven in 36 in his first full season with the Lions.
Probably a month into fall practice, we're like, yeah, he's ready to hit in the middle of the order for us and just be a real good player for us.
I'm just doing the best I can to help the team win. We just know what we can do, and we're just happy that we're performing well and doing what we know we can do.
I think we feed off each other, you know what I mean? Doesn't matter where we're hitting in the lineup. Everybody wants to get on for the guy behind them, you know, and driving guys in is just, you know, what we take pride in doing.
Both of them have 8 home runs on the year. As a team, Missouri Southern is one of just 2 teams in the league with more than 50 home runs, hitting 53 in 28 games.
There's not a lot of holes in our lineup. We all try and be as consistent as possible.
We play at a stadium that's a hitter's ballpark, you know, and they recruit us to be these hitters, these aggressive, incredible, great hitters.
We know we can drive the gaps and drive the ball over the wall, and you know, I think we can do that 1 through 9 for the most part.
We got guys that can really crush the ball on this team, and I'm just happy to be a part of this team. They're incredible athletes.
You can put some numbers up in our park for sure, as well as some other parks in our league, and so we're for sure glad Fitz and Tommy are playing for us.
Now, the Lions play a 3-game series against Northeastern State this weekend with a doubleheader tomorrow, followed by the series finale on Sunday afternoon. Well, the Gaiman brothers from Nevada, Clay and Dalton, are transferring to play basketball together at Drury next season. Clay from Division I Abilene Christian, Dalton from Arkansas Fort Smith. And Danny Terzer catches up with the two to talk about reuniting on the court for the first time in more than 3 years.
The Gaiman brothers haven't shared the basketball court as teammates since 2018. Clay was a senior at Nevada High School, and Dalton was a sophomore. When the opportunity presented itself once again, they couldn't pass it up.
Not a whole lot of people get to experience that kind of thing with their brother.
The two are transferring to play together at Drury University in Springfield. When they stepped onto the court at their official visit, they knew.
I saw him in the same jersey as I was like, dang, I missed this. So we just looked at each other like, this is the right choice for us.
Drury offers more than just a chance to reunite.
They're in need of a couple guys like us, and everything happened to work out at just the right time.
They clicked with the coaching staff, too.
Coach Foster's a really good guy, and their assistants are guys that have played in the program before, and they're part of the national championship team in 2013. So, I mean, they know what it takes to win.
So do Clay and Dalton. Both were Conference Player of the Year in high school.
I'm going there to win, and I wouldn't even consider Drury if I didn't think that they were ready to win. And we're ready to win big. We're trying to knock Northwest off the mountain, and that's the whole plan. I mean, I want a ring. I want to win a tournament championship.
Clay and Dalton push each other to be better.
Growing up, he was always kicking my you know what, but I mean, as we get a little older, I mean, I put on some pounds. I mean, it's about 50-50 now. Not at all. No, I still win every time. He's lying to you.
But as teammates,
I think we're both going to go get buckets there, and we're both going to win ball games at Drury, and you know, the next 2 years are going to be a whole lot of fun for me.
Danny Terzer, KOAM Sports.
Drury was 11-10 overall last season and finished as the GLVC Conference Tournament runner-up. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Japan's Prime Minister arrived at the White House this afternoon, becoming the first foreign leader to have a face-to-face meeting with President Biden. Fox News correspondent Caroline Shively is in D.C. with details on what this means for U.S. foreign diplomacy.
President Biden welcomed Japan's Prime Minister to the White House Friday, giving a look into U.S. foreign policy priorities.
The United States and Japan have a big agenda ahead of us, and we are two important democracies in the Indo-Pacific region, and our cooperation is vital.
I wish to reaffirm the new and tight bond between us, and in order to realize a free and open Indo-Pacific, there are many common challenges as well as emerging global issues.
Before talking with the president, Prime Minister Suga Yoshihide met with Vice President Harris, noting the importance of the visit and its timing.
I'd like to first of all express my sincere gratitude for inviting me as the first foreign guest to Washington despite the COVID-19 pandemic since the inauguration of the Biden administration.
The meeting comes at a crucial time on the world stage. As China builds its influence, North Korea remains defiant, and Tokyo tries to conduct the Summer Olympics during a global pandemic.
The government of Japan has stressed that public health remains the central priority as they plan to host the Games.
Other long-term issues the two leaders are tackling: climate change, auto tariffs, and energy policy. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Got some news about the upcoming Indiana Jones 5 movie. Hollywood Nation coming your way. Mads Mikkelsen joining an iconic franchise, and Ellen DeGeneres searching for the best furniture designer. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has the latest in the Hollywood Nation.
Oh my God.
Ellen, you're just as cute in person.
Ellen takes furniture design to the next level. Indy recruits another star, and Davidson channels his inner rock star in the Hollywood Nation. Pete Davidson has landed an iconic role. The Saturday Night Live star will produce and portray punk rock legend Joey Ramone in the upcoming Netflix biopic I Slept with Joey Ramone. It's based on the memoir of the same name penned by the late singer's brother, Mickey Lee. Mads Mikkelsen signs up for a new adventure. According to Deadline, the actor will star in the upcoming Indiana Jones 5 movie, joining franchise star Harrison Ford and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who was recently added as the female lead. Details about his role are still under wraps. The film is set to open in theaters July 29, 2022.
You're going to have as much time as you want to complete the challenge.
And HBO Max unveils the trailer to Ellen DeGeneres' new reality competition series, Ellen's Next Great Designer. The 6-episode show will feature 7 up-and-coming designers competing against each other in various furniture-making challenges for a chance to win the $100,000 grand prize. Actor Scott Foley will co-host alongside DeGeneres. It premieres April 22nd.
Gonna go downstairs now.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. Going to leave you with video of emus running around their new enclosure at the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago. Man, they're fast. Look at that guy. Have a great, safe weekend. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.